When you say that Amruhum Shura Bainahum is the principle that believers, their matters are decided through mutual consultation. So, what exactly did happen when the Muslim caliphs were appointed? Although what we see in their cases is that in each case, the process that was followed was different. But if you look at all the different details of all different occasions, what you would see is that the understanding of consultation and the fact that the one who is to rule should have the support of people is there in all those cases, although the methodology adopted in each of these cases was different. For example, obviously, when the Prophet ﷺ passed away, it was a very difficult occasion for all Muslims, understandably. And it was Abu Bakr and Umar radiallahu anhuma who realized that if there is no successor announced immediately, it is going to cause a lot of problems. People had converted to Islam because of the presence of the Prophet. Many of them did not convert, with full willingness, and they will revolt. So there is a place in Medina by the name of Saqifa Bani Saida, where the two went, and there were some people of Ansar who were already there. And ultimately, it's a long story, to cut it short, ultimately it was decided because all of those who were present were informed that the Prophet ﷺ himself had decided that the leadership of Muslims is going to go to Quraysh. The famous statement is, Al-Aimmatu min Quraysh. That is, the leaders are from Quraysh. Why? The Prophet clarified, because the people of the Arabian Peninsula, they do not know any other group whom they would follow. So people follow Quraysh when they are good as well as when they are evil. They have no other leaders. So, in other words, Amruhum Shura Bainam, their matters are decided by mutual consultation, was actually decided on the basis of the same principle that people would not opt for any other leadership. Now, somebody has rightly said that the principle is there. However, that principle should have been in later times transformed into a system, which people of the later times did not do. And that is why we find now in the history of Muslims, dictators after dictators, dynasties, one king passing away and leaving the throne to his son. And that's how it continued. Because this principle did not get the possibility of being translated into a system. But let's move on to the second appointment. In the case of Caliph Umar's appointment, Abu Bakr radiallahu, who is reported to have consulted many companions, he had Umar as his choice, but he did not appoint him without consulting the important companions who were there. And they all gave their opinions, positive as well as some negative aspects. He's very strict and so on. And finally, Abu Bakr radiallahu said that I sincerely hope that his strictness is going to soften because of the burden of responsibility of him becoming caliph. Likewise, in the case of the third caliph, we know that when Umar radiallahu was got injured and he knew that his days are numbered, he appointed 6 companions and asked them to continue to talk to each other until such time that they decide about a leader. In the case of Ali radiallahu, the Muslims unfortunately were divided into 2 groups. But within Medina, all companions who were there, they agreed that he is the man who deserves to be the leader. So what I'm trying to say is that although these appointments did not take place like we see now in democracy, yet the basic theme of consultation was always there. The idea was that people who are to run the affairs of the Muslims should be the ones on whom the general Muslims have confidence.